I need a new giant mug shawl. Don't think a Christmas one is appropriate anymore. It's yours?
Yeah. It was my leaving present from work.
Oops. The weighing scale is back. That is 2 servings. It's like half a bowl. That is everything that is wrong with the world.
Okay, so breakfast consists of some granola that's hidden down there, blueberries, banana, oat milk. There's not much room in the bowl, but I will be having yogurt as well. So this breakfast totals to 110 grams of carbs, 15 grams of fat and 30 grams of protein, and 700 calories. Today's ride, well, I'm aiming for 8 hours. But it's not actually gonna be. It's gonna be split into 2, sort of. So I'm gonna go out, do 6.5 hours, and then I time it so that when I get back, I've just got to like have some food, and then we'll be heading back out for tonight's chain gang. Over the years, I've certainly got better at fueling for rides like this. Like, I would say I put more emphasis now on like feeding during. Today's breakfast was about 1.5 to 2 grams of carbohydrate per kilogram of body weight. As I get out on the bike, I'm going to be shooting for about 80 to 100 grams of carbs per hour, at least for the first half, and then we'll just have to see how I feel from then on. I'm planning on stopping in a cafe. That's something you can do to, like, you know, just break up the ride, even if it's just for 20 minutes. You know, the fueling side of things becomes even more important when you're doing, you know, these longer and longer rides, especially ones with intensity, which I will be doing a little bit of today at the beginning and maybe right at the end. It's one of those things we don't often talk about, but it's maybe something you don't often see on my channel, and you may think that because I'm, you know, 60 kilos soaking wet at 177 centimeters, that like I just live off salad, but I really don't. Like, it's a complete myth. It's a myth. So I will eat and eat today and enjoy it because it will keep me pushing.
Oh, what a beautiful day. What a beautiful day. So as promised, a really hard start to this ride. First 35 minutes. We've got an intensity factor of 0.98 and 2 climbs. I was actually going for the KOM, so it makes a change for me. Usually I'm sticking religiously to my intervals. Well, the first one was about a 10-minute effort, and I was using the over and unders on the actual climb to regulate my power differently. And the second one was just dead straight and steep up Backosvelen, which is about 6 minutes. Still really difficult climbs. So I was due a bit of a test, to be honest. And a 10-minute test is like, it's a good little sort of in-between effort. It'll pretty much max for it, can you? My target was 390 watt. If it was over that, even if the normalizer slightly over that, I'll be happy, because I'm aiming to be in peak shape for like 20-minute effort in about 5 weeks time, just in time for Mallorca. Maybe I'll use some more climbs around this region. They'll be about 5 minutes in length, and I'm gonna do some 30 15s or 40 20s, and I'll check in with you in a couple of hours. Man, it's warm. It's 17 degrees. What is going on? So I'm 2.5 hours in, and I've climbed 1500 meters in 62 kilometers. I've very much front loaded this session because it's kind of what I will get in Mallorca 312, but also prepares me for Nick's torturous ride in North Wales in a couple of weeks time. Although I think that'll be preparing me for everything else I set my mind to this year. We'll all thank Nick for any success I get after that. That ride is like 230 kilometers and 6,000 meters of climbing. Woo! Tell you what, it's days like this where I'm glad that riding my bike is my job, because it makes it so worth it. All those days of bad weather or bad morale, and then you have a day like this which completely destroys those other days. Oh, Herberdeg Road never gets old. So this type of ride like really combines 2 or maybe 3 of my loves when it comes to improving endurance, and that's obviously super long ride, which generally speaking will be done pretty steady, like a lot easier than you probably think, because that's how it's done properly at the end of the day. And then like doing efforts late on, but in order to do them properly, you obviously have to ride fairly easy. You know where that's going. And then the other one is riding with a group, but again, you can't get carried away. It's got to be structured. You've got to stay within yourself. That's the whole point of endurance. That's the whole point of working it with longer durations. I've always benefited from very long, steady bike rides, and it's only when it comes to racing, I suppose, that I start to add these extra efforts, or like 10 or 20-minute efforts near the end of a ride, like after 4 or 5 hours, where I ride at FTP, or basically as hard as I could go at that point anyway. And that oh man, if you're in a good enough shape to do it, I can bring you on leaps and bounds, honestly. These climbs just keep coming. Just had my fill at Hive, which is like a gym come cafe come quite nice actual restaurant, to be fair, just outside of Llanelli. I've got to head along the coast road now all the way to the Gower Peninsula. It's going to be like 40 minutes of headwind and I'm 4 hours in and 200 TSS, so I'm going to be grinding a gear basically to get out of this headwind. But at least as soon as I get out of it, I'll be into a full-on tailwind for about 20 minutes, so something to look forward to. 200 watts, 20k an hour, barely. Sun is going down gradually behind me. It's going to be a wonderful evening. I am battling another headwind, but we're getting it done. I am definitely going through a patch of, well, fatigue mainly. You probably can't see it on the GoPro, but there's one heck of a beach down there. I think that one's 3 Cliffs Bay, but it is stunning, guys. Really, really stunning. Shame I can't take the bike down there until I get a gravel bike. Woo! Oh. Mega climb over there. I'm not doing it today, but the road just like fades into the distance. That's Kevin Bryn. Probably the biggest climb on the Gower. Okay, we're coming to the crunch point now. 6 hours, 4,100 kilojoules, 2,700 meters of climbing, 275 TSS, and we're going to ride the last 10k of this route at whatever I've got left. So I'll just imagine it's the last 10 kilometers of a race, and just imagine I'm going solo. See what I can squeeze out. Yeah! Oh, am I the only one that just gets really passionate when you just feel amazing and you nail it? You just absolutely nail it. I've genuinely got the shivers. Oh, it feels so good. Can I just add, just for the sake of it, but there's not many days where I feel like this, and I imagine there's not many days where you guys feel like this either, where you feel very good. And I just want to say, like, I heard something on Nick Bear's YouTube channel. I saw a video before I came out this morning, and he talks about how, you know, more often than not, most people are inconsistently consistent for whatever reason. And he said, are you willing to dedicate 5 to 10 years of consistency just to scratch the surface? Because I don't know, it's hard to explain, but like the last 4 years for me are completely different to my first 4 years in cycling. Like, the gains I had my first 4 years, I don't have them now. You know, I'm constantly sort of floating at or around that peak performance, but I'm never seeing big improvements. And that's just how it works. That's just what happens sometimes. But sometimes you got to play the long game, and I might wait another, you know, I'm 28 this year. I might see another bit of improvement in 3 years time. Just don't know. Just don't know. But you keep doing it. You keep being consistent. You keep scratching the surface. Great example is today. I have never felt this good, you know, a 6.5 hour ride in my whole life. And I've been riding bikes for like 12 years. Fast forward an hour or so, and I'm back out. Different kit this time though, with Charlie. Heading to the group ride chain gang. This is our first chain gang in like 2 years.
Longer than that.
Longer than that?
Maybe more like 3 or 4 years.
3, well yeah, it could be 3 years, yeah. I think be a good, it's only going to be like 30 minutes, 40 minutes I think, but be a good opportunity to see where you're at in it.
I'm feeling quite nervous.
It's like a Zwift race.
Well, I haven't ridden in the dark for a couple of years, and I haven't done a chain gang for a couple of years, so...
Wayne's got a puncture. Yeah. Just sit on the back of it. Go on, Keith. Go. Use Charlie as an example there. If you struggle in a chain gang, it's good to do something before you actually blow. And that's to sit on the back and miss a couple of turns. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you'll make it all the way and do the whole 10 laps. But it does mean you just give yourself a chance to brake from the front. And a brake from the front is the only thing that's actually pushing you over the limit. If you can serve the wheels, then it should be a little bit better, slightly a bit more recovery. I'm just speaking from experience of being in breakaways, and this is a breakaway situation. The thing is, you've got to call people through and make sure they know that you're sitting on. Oh, Charles, you crushed it.
I don't know about that.
To be fair, you did really well. Considering it was your first chain gang in ages. You did fantastically well when, like, we did the 10 laps, but after about 5, you sat on the back, and that's how I was explaining to the vlog. I was probably sounding a little bit preachy. I never want to sound preachy, but it's kind of, it just gives you that little bit of a breather, doesn't it? And then
Yeah.
you can like sit on for a lap, which is about 3 or 4 minutes, and then
Come through again.
come through and like rejoin the pace line. It's such a valuable tool that I think sometimes people are a little bit like apprehensive about sitting on, because it feels like they're cheating the group, but you know, you're there for your own sort of progression more than anything. Oh, can you smell the fish and chips?
I can.
Ah, no. So it's 8:30 p.m. I'm gonna wrap this video up here. Thank you so much for watching. 8 hours and 3 minutes, 209 kilometers, 5,500 kilojoules, 3,000 meters of climbing. So it wasn't a hilly end to the ride, but 230 normalized power and 370 TSS. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Another day in the books. I'll see you in the next one.